All right, let's talk about it. We're going to tackle one of the most frustrating, most persistent problems in all of B2B. How to build a target account list that doesn't just sit there and gather dust, but one that your sales team actually believes in and uses to fuel your pipeline. Let's just kick this off with a hard truth. If this quote hits a little too close to home for you, then you know the feeling. You spend weeks, maybe even months, pouring all this effort into a list, only to have it met with skepticism. Or even worse, just complete silence from the sales floor. And this right here, this is the core of the problem, isn't it? On one side, you have marketing, building this beautiful, data-driven, supposedly perfect list, and on the other side, you've got sales who just kind of ignores it. Why? Because they don't trust it, they weren't part of the process. And that's the gap we're here to close. So to actually fix this, we've got to diagnose the problem first. Why do so many of these well-intentioned lists just end up as dead spreadsheets? Well, here are the usual suspects. First, marketing builds the list in a total silo. Second, the ideal customer profile, the ICP, the very definition of who you're selling to, it's way too weak or generic. Third, and this is a big one, it completely lacks validation and input from the sales team. The people on the front lines? It's all based on this flawed assumption that data alone is enough, and it just ends up feeling like a homework assignment, not a real battle plan. And the result of this? It's not just a bad list. It's so much worse. It's this cascade of failure. Marketing's effort is completely wasted. You miss out on a ton of potential pipeline. And maybe the most damaging part of all, it completely erodes the trust between your sales and marketing teams. Okay, so if that's the problem, what does the solution actually look like? How do we transform this dead spreadsheet into a living, breathing, strategic asset that the whole company can rally behind? This right here, this is the definition we should all be aiming for. And I want you to notice the keywords here: focused, high confidence, and the most important one of all, co-created. It's about building a shared mission from day one. This really requires a huge mindset shift. We have to stop chasing thousands and thousands of potential accounts. Instead, we need to focus all of our collective energy on the few hundred that truly have the potential to become our absolute best customers. It's quality over quantity, period. Let's look at the difference side by side. The spreadsheet, it's static, it's owned by marketing, it's based only on data, and yeah, it gets ignored. But the strategy, it's dynamic, it's co-created, it blends data with real human insight, and, this is the key, it's actively used by sales reps to actually win deals. Okay, so let's get practical. We know the what and the why, so now let's dive into the how. Here's a 5-step framework you can use to build a target account list that sales is genuinely excited to go after. This is your blueprint. We're going to start by aligning on the ICP. Then we're going to enrich it with data and insights. Then comes the crucial step, collaborating with sales. After that, we tier and prioritize. And finally, we make sure the list stays dynamic. Everything, and I mean everything, starts here. Step 1 is about getting sales and marketing into the same room to agree on the exact DNA of a perfect customer. If you don't get this foundation right, the whole entire structure is just going to collapse. And your ICP needs to go deep. It's not just about company size or industry. What technology do they use? Are they hiring for key roles? Did they just get a new round of funding? Are they visiting your pricing page? These are the signals that separate a good fit from a ready-to-buy fit. All right, once you have that solid ICP, you move to step 2. You enrich it with data. You're looking at third-party intent data to see who's out there researching your category. You're looking at your own engagement signals, and critically, you're analyzing your past wins. You literally need to reverse engineer your own success. Which brings us to what I believe is the most important step in this entire process. I mean, this quote says it all, doesn't it? It is the absolute truth. Ownership is born from contribution. This is where the magic happens. You have to run collaborative workshops, present a draft list, and then empower your sales reps to use their on-the-ground knowledge to veto accounts, to add accounts, to validate everything. This single act transforms them from being passive recipients into true stakeholders and owners. So next up, you prioritize, because not all target accounts are created equal, right? Your Tier 1 accounts may be the top 10%. These are your crown jewels. They deserve personalized one-to-one attention. Your Tiers 2 and 3 can get more scaled one-to-many marketing plays. This is all about focusing your resources effectively. And finally, step 5, the work is never done. This list has to be a living, breathing asset. You need a process to review it quarterly, to add new accounts based on fresh signals, and, just as important, to remove accounts that are no longer a fit based on direct feedback from sales. And this whole framework, it leads us to our final, and honestly, our most important takeaway. This whole process, it isn't just about building a better list. It's about fundamentally changing how your revenue teams work together. I mean, think about that for a second. The collaboration, the debates, the shared agreement, that process of alignment is what gives the final list its power. The output isn't just a document. The output is a strategy. So remember this, a perfect list built in a marketing silo that sales doesn't trust is worthless. A good enough list that is co-owned and actively used by both teams, that's the one that's going to generate millions in pipeline. You have to strive for alignment over perfection. So I'll leave you with this one question to think about. If you're struggling with your account-based marketing, before you go and blame the ads or the content, take a really hard look at your foundation. Is your target account list a tool that's built on trust, or is it just another spreadsheet?